You just never know what you're going to wake up to in the morning in this business. Now you wake up to the HuffPost and you read a plot from President Trump, a plot that you may not imagine what they are predicting is actually happening right here. HuffPost actually goes there. Do you know what's behind those black boxes? I'm going to tell you what's behind the black boxes. It should shock you. Maybe it won't shock you. So my question is this. Are you prepared to take a trip with me into the dystopian world of the HuffPost, where Paul Blumenthal has courageously blown the whistle on, well, just wait for it, President Trump possibly doing what Democrats have already done for decades? Do you know what the headline screams? Well, I'll tell you in just 1 minute. So for those of you brave enough to make it through the intro, how Trump is plotting to disrupt the next election. Yep, that is what the HuffPost put out this morning. Because, of course, nothing says journalism like speculative fan fiction with citations from the Brennan Center, a.k.a. the DNC's in-house panic lab. We're going to go quote for quote. And we're going to show you what they stated and why. I guess it's okay for the Democrats to do it. But in no way, shape, or form is it okay for President Trump to do it. It's quite the expose. It was actually much easier than you would have expected to get through because they cried democracy's dying with tears on their cheeks as they echoed the same script that they've used for weeks. Projection's their tool, deception's their play. If Trump sneezes wrong, it's the end of the day. They screech, they howl, he's breaking the rules, but forget their own turn as authoritarian fools. So buckle in tight. We're diving down deep into election hysteria that won't let you sleep. Oh, we're going to have some fun today. Before I do, I want to first say thank you for all of you that have continued to beat the algorithm. We have gone back past 82,000 subscribers because you have all paid attention and you have helped me to beat the machine that decided for whatever reason for a little while there that it didn't want to hear from us. And because of all of you, we're back up on top where we should be. So continue to all our new members here to double check you're still subscribed. For all of you that have joined as members, thank you so much. For all the super thanks, thank you. For the comments, thank you. The shares, thank you. For all of those of you checked out my sponsor over at Chapter. Man, that was kind of cool, huh? One free phone call you made, and now you see why so many of my subscribers have saved thousands by making, again, one free phone call to licensed Medicare experts. Isn't that kind of easy? Do you have a loved one looking for Medicare? You know how tough it is to get through that system? Or are you looking for Medicare? You think you got the best package? Maybe you do. Maybe you don't. One free phone call and you'll find out. You know the average person who makes that free phone call saves $1,100 a year? You know what that number is? Well, it's right next to me. So you do now at least. 805-619-5011. 619-5011. You got to talk to a real person, not a bot. That's why I partnered with them. And trust me, the comments I get and feedback I get, I'm really glad I did. And it will take you a couple minutes, one call. Don't waste any time. Give them a ring. Find out what's it hurt. And a system designed to take from you. It's time to take something back. Give Chapter a call today. You got the number. Make the phone call. Now let's get back to this video. Before I get to the video, liberal movie warning. Social Network 2 is in the works. And guess what? They're going to put another liberal spin into another movie. I know that's shocking, right? Social Network 2 plot blames January 6th on Facebook not censoring people enough. Oh no, can't make it up. Took its inspiration from the Wall Street Journal's Facebook files. Sorkin's back in. He's been looking for his angle. He couldn't figure out how he wanted to do this movie. So he was looking for inspiration. Couldn't find it, so he went to the Wall Street Journal Facebook files. This is all according to Deadline. The Social Network Part 2, in the works at Sony, with Aaron Sorkin, set to write and direct. He found his inspiration. According to this exclusive article, after teasing a potential sequel to the Oscar-winning drama The Social Network for years, Aaron Sorkin couldn't find an angle, but he went and found one. And guess what it's going to be? He's going to expose the inner workings and multiple harms caused by the world's largest social network, Facebook. And what is it going to be? Since its release, Sorkin has noted on several occasions interest in doing a follow-up, but he couldn't find the right angle. Following the events of January 6, 2021, when the U.S. Capitol was attacked, Sorkin found new inspiration, saying in an interview last year that he believed Facebook played a part. Of course. Of course he did. Because it is the story that keeps on giving. Because if Facebook just could have quieted down people a little bit more, then nothing would have happened, right? Did you think the story was ever going to go away? Of course not. Because they love keeping these stories alive, don't they? Just like the headline story today. Trump's plot to disrupt the next election. HuffPost put this out. Once again, HuffPost put this out. There's a reason I'm going to keep saying that over and over again. Their article, not mine. We're just going to cover it through a little bit different of a viewpoint. This came out of Paul Blumenthal. 8 a.m. this morning. What a thing to wake up to, huh? How Trump is plotting to disrupt the next election. This time the call is coming from inside the White House. And that should scare you more than anything. Are you scared? Are you scared? Well, according to Paul Blumenthal, you should be. And who was one of their primary sources on this? The Brennan Center for Justice. The Trump administration's campaign to undermine the next election. The executive branch is interfering in U.S. elections in unprecedented ways. So we'll go to the article itself. You ready for it? I hope you are. Quote by quote, piece by piece, full screen analysis. Since taking office, Trump has installed loyalists who follow his orders into key positions at the Department of Justice. Well, okay. Installing people who agree with your agenda. That's the argument being made there. What a fascist concept. I guess Merrick Garland wouldn't be an example of that under Biden's DOJ, who went after parents at school board meetings. As a matter of fact, even called them domestic terrorists, but sure, let's cry over Pam Bondi being Attorney General. I guess that's the argument that they're actually attempting to make here. Because now it's Trump's fault. I told you this would be somewhat painful and ludicrous in its own way. Just putting our own spin into it. This Department of Justice has acted differently than every other Department of Justice. Wait down. You mean like Eric Holder when he called himself Obama's wingman, or when the DOJ colluded with the FBI to spy on Trump's administration using a fake dossier that they knew was garbage that we've been covering for weeks now? The HuffPost actually wrote that, and they're serious. I just want to cover this the way it deserved to be covered today. Sorry. They just put this out today after everything we've been covering for the last week. And they're serious, folks. Trump issued a sweeping executive order. Ooh, sorry. I got to go to the next one. There it is. Trump issued a sweeping executive order aiming to allow the president to direct set state election law. Oh, no, not executive orders. Not those magical powers used by Biden to erase student loans like they were nothing. Redefine Title 5 or 6 or 4 or 3 and redefine biology, but Trump's asking states to verify citizenship before voting. Tyranny! Literally. Tyranny. That's what you're calling it. It's a sick, twisted world. DOJ has sued North Carolina and Orange County, California, to obtain such access to voter files. So now, just so you understand this, we're mad about federal intrusion into state elections. Newsflash. Obama's DHS literally tried to declare elections critical infrastructure. Do you recall this argument? critical infrastructure. That was different because OMG now bad. For those of you that recall history, it's really inconvenient for lamestream media. This is what we do here. Trump dismantled the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, CISA. He fired the guy who told us in 2020 was the most secure election in history before any audits were completed and lawsuits were still flying. The same CISA who said Hunter Biden's laptop had all the classic earmarks of Russian disinformation. Yeah, he probably should have been canned. Just saying. And there's people on the left gobbling this story up right now. Having fun with this. He rewards allies and punishes enemies in the HuffPost article. Because weaponizing the IRS against conservative nonprofits under Obama was totally fine. But Trump saying you're fired to someone who leaks classified intel, that's dictatorship. Gotcha. Check that one off the list. Trump punishes his enemies. He rewards his allies. He issued pardons or commute sentences for all defendants. Okay. You mean he pardons his supporters after protest goes wrong, just like Biden's DOJ dropped charges against BLM rioters who burned down cities in 2020, injured cops, and took over precincts. Spare us the selective outrage. Much? Just saying. Sorry. I know. Common sense hurts the liberal mindset. Griffith filed a lawsuit seeking to reverse his loss with claims that certain registered voters with incomplete information on their registration should have been removed from the rolls before they cast their ballots. Wait for this one. Someone lost and filed a lawsuit. But isn't that exactly what Stacey Abrams did in Georgia and was hailed a civil rights icon? Hillary Clinton still hasn't conceded, the 2016 election without adding an asterisk, but okay. This time it's the end of democracy. Just saying. Well, let's recap here before I get to my final point. Trump surrounds himself with loyalists, and that equals fascism. Biden surrounds himself with ideological clones, and that equals stability. Trump wants voter ID, that equals suppression. Democrats flood voter rolls, that equals progress. Sorry. Trump asks questions, that equals insurrection, and Democrats run entire misinformation campaigns, and that equals public service, at least according to what the HuffPost just stated. But let's end with this gem. We have to reckon with the difference when the attack comes from within the White House. Huh. You mean like the FBI, the DOJ, the CIA, the IRS, the media, all colluding together to attack Trump for, the past how many years? Huh. And now we're finding out that all came from within the White House, but that was okay. But now, Orange Man, bad. HuffPost, do me a favor. Spare me. Please, spare me. The curtain's been pulled back. We see you now. And I just tell my audience what you've been doing. It's too damn easy. And you just need to go away. Stop the subversion. Stop the lies. Because we have the right to just tell everyone. So, bye-bye. See you later. Love you all. Until next time. Godspeed, God bless, Justice Night. Sadi out.